everybody. Welcome to the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. It's your old friend here, Bo James. Some people like to call me the King of Kingsport. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you we're sorry for not having recent episodes of the Power Half Hour up. We're sorry for lack of updates at King of Kingsport. Things have been hectic around here as I've been writing my second book. It's soon to come out. Trying to get everything ready for the holiday season. Trying to get everything Southern States Wrestling nailed down and prepared for the holiday events coming up. But we're back on track right here. You can watch the Power Half Hour every week right here. KingofKingsport.com, YouTube.com/King of Kingsport, or find us on Blip TV or on our Facebook page. Right here today I want to take a look at a very special man. I'm talking about the new Southern States Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Eric Darkstorm. The man that says he's here to lead Southern States Wrestling into the new era. He says he's here to be the man for the next 20 plus years. You know, this is our almost 22nd anniversary coming up here, and Eric Darkstorm has come along and he's got that attitude. He's got that cockiness. He's got what we've seen from a lot of people over the years, but he's also backing it up. But there's another young man that has come right up and faced him face to face, nose to nose in that ring, and I'm talking about Kyle Matthews. A youngster from Atlanta, Georgia area, trained by the great Ted Allen, the late Nightmare. Kyle Matthews has made headwaves right here in Southern States Wrestling just like he has all around the world. This man is an international star, wrestling in Japan and all over the country here for the biggest promotions in America. What I want to do is I want to take a look right here now at Kyle Matthews and Eric Darkstorm when they met in the ring for the very first time in Mount Carmel, Tennessee. Then afterwards, I want to go back just a little bit a few weeks ago and take a look at Dr. Tom Prichard when he made his return. He was talking about his new book you can find at drtompritchard.com. He just come out to do a little interview with Joe Wheeler, and some of his comments upset Eric Darkstorm. What I want to take a look is what happened there when Eric Darkstorm come out and confronted Dr. Tom Prichard. So let's take a look. Kyle Matthews, Eric Darkstorm, and then a very special appearance by Dr. Tom Prichard.
with all due respect, you flew all the way up here from Tampa to see Kyle Matthews because he's one of the best in the world? Well, if he's one of the best in the world, what does that make me? Because I beat him 1, 2, 3.
Right. No. Listen. I don't think you need to jump the gun here, Eric. I was just getting ready to mention the great match that Eric Darkstorm had against Kyle Matthews just recently here on Southern States Wrestling. And
Hold on. So now it was a great match featuring Eric Darkstorm. You know what? I didn't hear you mention me until I came out here. And now that I'm out here, oh, Eric Darkstorm, you're great. You're great. Well, you didn't fly up here to see me, did you? I had to hear Bo James talk for a month about how great Kyle Matthews is. Now you're going to fly in the big wig and come in to see Kyle Matthews?
No. I think we've got a little misunderstanding going on here. I came in to see both Eric Darkstorm and Kyle Matthews. Kyle just happened to be trained by a very good friend of mine that I grew up in this sport, Ted Allen. The Nightmare, he is a guy who has a reputation, and I believe that he's been trained very well. And I believe that Eric Darkstorm, you of course have been a tremendous heavyweight. You've been a great cruiserweight. But you know, the thing is, it's not necessarily the fight or the size of the dog in the fight. It's really the fight in the dog, if you want to look.
So now you're going to disrespect me. So now you're going to disrespect me. I'm a great wrestler. Listen to me, okay? I'm not a dog. If I was, I'd be a pit bull. But that offends me because I'm not a dog. If anything, I'm a coyote. I'm a wolf. I'm a flesh-eating disease. I'm a parasite. And tonight, I'm going to finish Kyle Matthews. And if you want, you can go take a seat over there, or you can sit in the front row and buy a ticket and watch me beat him again. 1, 2, 3.
Listen, I didn't mean any disrespect. In fact, I'm looking forward to your match. I'm looking forward to seeing you and Kyle go at it again, because there's no doubt in my mind you're a tremendous heavyweight wrestler. You're a tremendous athlete, as well as Kyle Matthews. But
before I bring you up to date on the live events coming up around the Mountain Empire, I just want to take a second here and make a few comments about what you just saw. Now, Eric Darkstorm, you may have felt that you were disrespected and you came out there and you got in the face of Dr. Tom Prichard, but I'm going to tell you this right here, Eric Darkstorm. Tom Prichard didn't come to Mount Carmel that night to fight or to wrestle or anything like that. He came to see everybody. He came to shake hands with all the people who supported him over the years and the fans that watch Southern States Wrestling. He came to sign autographs of his new book that's out. You can find it at drtompritchard.com. He came to see Kyle Matthews because he'd heard so much about him. Just like he'd heard so much about you, Eric Darkstorm, but you didn't let him get that far. You came out and you disrespected him. Now I'm going to say this right here. Next week, Dr. Tom Prichard has got some very, very special words for you, Eric Darkstorm, and I know you're watching up there in Huntington, West Virginia, and I want to make sure you tune in to the Power Half Hour next week. And before we go off the air today, I'm going to show you the second time that Joe Wheeler brought Tom Prichard out and tried to talk to him and what happened then. Now, let's talk about live events that's coming up. You know, this is the season that we do this every year. United States Marine Corps Toys for Tots events. Saturday night, November 17th, West Elk Avenue, Elizabethton, Tennessee, the VFW Hall. Ticket price has been lowered for the holiday season. 5 big matches, a great card of Southern States Wrestling coming to the VFW in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Please bring a new unwrapped toy for a boy or girl for the Toys or Tots drive. And then just 6 days later, the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 23rd, Mount Carmel, Tennessee. It is the Thanksgiving extravaganza, the day after Thanksgiving this year, right there in Mount Carmel. Right here next week, I'm going to tell you all about that big card. Matches are being signed. Mac McMurray and Al Bass are hard at work at that right now, but it's going to be Friday, not Thanksgiving night, but the very next day, Friday, Black Friday. It may be a black and blue Friday for some of the wrestlers here in Southern States Wrestling. But what I want to do right now, get our first break out of the way. When we come back, we're going to hear more about events coming up around the Mountain Empire. Plus, you're going to see Kyle Matthews in action right here today.
With the economy changing almost daily and not always for the best, let Hassie'sKitchenTable.com keep your food budget under control. Leave the work up to us as we find inexpensive recipes, cooking, and shopping tips. You will soon have all the tips, ideas, recipes you need to feed your family well on a budget and have fun while doing it.
Hello everybody, it's your old friend here, Handsome Bo James. Some people like to call me the King of Kingsport, and I'm here to tell you, it's finally here. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? My first full-length book, 348 pages, never publicly told stories, rare photos, a history lesson of pro wrestling in East Tennessee. How I got my career started as a promoter at the age of 14 years old. How my in-ring career started at 15 years old. Stories of being so blessed and getting to work and compete with people like the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff, the Mongolian Stomper, Izzy Slapowicz, Nature Boy Buddy Landell, Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, Ricky Morton, and a whole lot more. Let's not forget about those practical jokes that wrestlers like to pull on one another, a whole chapter dedicated to that. Tributes to many of my fallen heroes turned friends like Wahoo McDaniel, Road Warrior Hawk, Sherry Martell, Billy Joe Travis, Moondog Spot, and a whole lot more. Buy your copy today, kingofkingsport.com. Each book comes with signed pictures of not only myself, but my beautiful wife, Misty James, and a DVD with never before seen matches, interviews, and special insight from me that follows the book. Do you want to be a wrestler, kid? Available now, kingofkingsport.com. There you heard not only the information about how to bring Southern States Wrestling to your town for your nonprofit organization, but also information about my first book, Do You Want to Be a Wrestler, Kid? It seems like every day now I'm getting emails and comments and people walking up to me on the street going, hey, when's that second book coming out? Right here. You keep watching the Power Half Hour. I'm going to tell you right here in just a few weeks. It's just a few days away. Second book's coming out. Keep checking kingofkingsport.com. Also want to remind you about November 17th, Elizabethton, Tennessee, VFW Hall, West Elk Avenue, right there near Grindstaff. You know that big car lot right there. We're right across the street from there. Ticket price has been lowered. 5 big matches. It's a big night of action in Elizabethton. And let's not forget about the Thanksgiving extravaganza, November 23rd. Kingsport area, right there in Mount Carmel, just 1 mile west of Kingsport on 11W, 399 Highway 11W, Mount Carmel. It's at the Armory. It's a big night right here, next edition of the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour. We're going to tell you all about that big night of action coming up. What I want to do right now, I talked about him. You've seen some highlights of him. I want to take a look at Kyle Matthews in the ring, in action, right here on the Southern States Wrestling Power Half Hour.
The returning Kyle Matthews here from Atlanta, Georgia, right here on the Power Half Hour against a guy from Virginia Beach, Virginia, in Slick Rick Matrix, 272 pounds against 175 pounds, Joe Wheeler. You can see that as clear as day on your TV screen, folks, who the larger man in this one is. But let's don't underestimate Kyle Matthews. We've seen him in the ring before, especially against the likes of Eric Darkstorm. He's a very accomplished individual inside that squared circle, and he can certainly hit you from all corners. And Slick Rick, even though he's a little bit larger, may have a little bit too much to handle here.
That's very, very well possible. Slick Rick with a nice drop toe hold into a float over, now back into an arm bar position on Kyle Matthews. And you're absolutely right, Michael Sutherland. There is almost exactly a 100-pound weight difference between these two competitors. But Matthews, I don't think that even phases him, really. He's used to working larger opponents and used to taking that challenge on of having to wrestle a larger man, as Matthews now bulled back into the corner by Slick Rick Matrix. As Matrix now just trying to intimidate Kyle Matthews. And, you know, I really just do not think for a second that's going to work. I mean, it's just not happening, as Matthews stays very, very focused, very, very professional, and very, very centered in his ring abilities, as he's looking for an opening. Great strategy there, going right for the leg. Try to take this big man down off the canvas and get him down where he can wrestle him. But Rick was able to put a stop to that. But they're still jockeying, as Slick Rick now into a half Boston Crab. Got that one leg pinned back of Kyle Matthews. Kyle Matthews ain't afraid of a fight, Michael Sutherland. This young man, he is not scared, even though he's outweighed tremendously.
Oh, yeah, and you see he tried to do a single leg takedown right there and was not even able to lift the foot off the canvas because he just didn't have the strength behind it. And I'm not discrediting Kyle Matthews at all, but, you know, his opponent, as you say, 100-pound weight advantage, 272 pounds in there, Slick Rick Matrix, really going to, you know, take this gentleman, Kyle Matthews, and turn him every which way but loose, I've got to believe. And again, I'm not discrediting Kyle Matthews at all, so fans, don't jump on me, you know, for saying that about this likable guy, because Kyle Matthews is one of the most upstanding individuals that I've ever met since I've been involved in the sport of professional wrestling. But he may just be outmanned in this match, Joe.
Yeah, when you got a 100-pound weight disadvantage, and the size and the strength of this man, Slick Rick Matrix, driving those big double axe handle blows in and follows it up with a headbutt. I mean, this man brings an intensity level to the ring, no doubt about it, as Matthews is definitely in for a fight here with this bigger guy. But I don't mark Matthews out by any chance. I mean, I have to say it's 50-50. It could go either way, and there you see it. Matthews fighting back with great tenacity, but cut off very quickly by Slick Rick Matrix with a hard shot there. Matrix now in for a cover, and thought he was trying to use that bottom rope for an advantage, but maybe not, but that foot was dangerously close to it. Now just going for a reverse chin lock. And notice how Matrix right here putting all of his weight right on Matthews. He's going to make him carry that 275-pound weight, and that will wear you out. No matter how great a physical conditioning you are, no matter how good the cardiovascular is, when you got 272 pounds laying on you like that and wrenching on your head and neck, it will take it out of you.
Well, absolutely. You know, you've got all that weight down on top of you, and as you're trying to fight out, you've got to fight through that extra added weight that's on your back or whatever body part that it's on. You see a high cross body block, and wow, he just took him straight down with that. Lost his balance a little bit, but that's nothing. He slammed him through the center of that canvas there, and Kyle Matthews is in a lot of trouble. He may have dislocated a lung there or so forth, so to speak. Folks, a little sarcasm there, but still yet, he put a lot of hurting on Kyle Matthews. You know, Matthews, Eric Darkstorm, what a wrestling clinic that they put on. My gosh, a power bomb there. Got him wrapped up 1-2 and only a 2. Kyle Matthews and Eric Darkstorm a couple of months ago put on a real wrestling clinic inside the squared circle, and they got a rematch coming up here very, very soon, Joe Wheeler. I can't wait to see it.
Should be another absolutely classic, instant classic is what I would call it, as Slick Rick Matrix here continuing his assault on Matthews, takes him hard into the buckle as, that moment of delay right there, that 1 second of delay is all it took. Kyle Matthews was able to get that boot up, caught his man with a hard shot, hard forearm right there. And a big chop. Kyle Matthews is in this fight. He may be the smaller man, he may be outweighed by 100 pounds, but he is in this fight. No doubt about it. The bigger weight advantage coming into play right here. Matthews isn't able to whip his man in. Matrix caught him, got him up on his shoulder here. But Matthews slips out the back door, rolls his man up. This could do it. He got him. He got him.
Right there. That's all it took. One little slip up from Matrix, rolled him up 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the contest, Kyle Matthews.
Unbelievable. Kyle Matthews rolled the man up 1, 2, 3 and takes home the winner's share of the purse tonight here on the Power Half Hour. Folks, we got a great contest coming up right after this. Don't you dare go away.
There you saw a big win for Kyle Matthews. You know, he's right there. He's one of the top contenders anywhere in the country for any title that he sets his sights on. He has an impressive win-loss record, probably second none to anybody of his age and his experience in this profession. He's only been around a short time. He's a young man that I know the whole world is watching. Kyle Matthews is going to be a superstar around this world. You're going to see it. He's already traveled to Japan. He's went all over America. Christmas night, he's going to make his return right back here to the Mountain Empire. Now, big events coming up November 17th, Elizabeth, and November 23rd, Mount Carmel. Joe Wheeler's been hard at work. He's ran down the new Tennessee heavyweight champions, DeAndre Jackson, got some words from him. And he also found James McHone in the Big Business Army and got some words from him. So before we go to break, let's hear them and what they've got to say about the big events coming up around the Mountain Empire.
Wrestling fans, it's a holiday tradition in the Tri-Cities. Thanksgiving night, Mount Carmel, Tennessee, National Guard Armory. DeAndre, the match has been signed. You and Chris Graves for the Tennessee Championship.
2012 Turkey Bowl. This is what I'm doing early today. You eating turkey?
Oh, yeah.
I'm eating a whole bunch of turkey, and then I'm coming to beat a turkey in Chris Graves. You see, last time it was back and forth, and things got a little bit mixed up. The next time, I promise you, nothing's going to come in between my way of winning and showing why I am the Tennessee champion. And you can best believe that. And if you didn't know, in the words of a good friend, you better ask somebody.
There you have it, fans. Be sure to join this new tag team
You
champion.
may not believe this, but I'm going to eat Thanksgiving. I'm going to eat. Then I'm coming to Mount Carmel, to the Armed Forces Service Center. I'm going to watch Frank Parker and Scott Sterling eat that tag team alive. Whoever's dumb enough to sign the contract. DeAndre Jackson, Ray Idol, Lucas Angel, I don't care. Bo James, get you a partner. Team with your scraggly wife for all I care. I don't care. Anybody gets in the ring with the Army, they get hurt. Go ask Steve Flynn, because he's on the shelf, because he messed with us. He tried to turn his back on the Army, on big business, and it didn't work. He got hurt. That's what you do when you get in with the big business Army, you get hurt. Frank Parker and Scott Sterling are the tag team champions today, tomorrow, and as long as I want them to be. Thanksgiving night, we will be full and we will be thankful, and you people will still be rednecks wishing you were big business.
Imperial Healthcare welcomes you to our new location, 645 East Main Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. New patients welcome now. Call 423-734-2318 or 782-0893 to make an appointment with our friendly and qualified staff. Imperial Healthcare of Kingsport, Tennessee. Simple and sincere. Dr. Vijay Singh, MD. Tell them you heard about them on Southern States Wrestling.
With the economy changing almost daily and not always for the best, let Hassie'sKitchenTable.com keep your food budget under control. Leave the work up to us as we find inexpensive recipes, cooking, and shopping tips. You will soon have all the tips, ideas, recipes you need to feed your family well on a budget and have fun while doing it.
Welcome back to the Power Half Hours. Old Bo James here to bring you up to date on what's been happening. We're going to get to the events again here real soon, but I want to just recap what we've seen here today. We have seen Kyle Matthews in action. We've seen highlights of him against the Southern States Wrestling Heavyweight Champion in Eric Darkstorm. We heard from Dr. Tom Prichard as he made his return to East Tennessee, flew up from Tampa, Florida to see everybody, say hello to everybody. Some comments that he made upset Eric Darkstorm. Eric Darkstorm took it upon himself to come out and confront Dr. Tom Prichard. Tom Prichard didn't come to wrestle. He didn't come to fight. He just come to say hello, talk to everybody. In just a few minutes, you're going to see what happened the second time that Joe Wheeler brought Dr. Tom Prichard out, and everybody wanted to hear what he had to say. He never got to the point the first time around. So we're going to see that in just a second. But what I want to do, remind you, November 17th, Elizabethton, Tennessee, VFW Hall, West Elk Avenue, right there near Grindstaff Car Lot. Big night of action, 5 big matches. Ticket price has been lowered. Please come on out early. Visit concession stand, meet the wrestlers, and please bring an unwrapped toy for a boy or girl for the United States Marine Corps. Toys for Tot Drive. Same thing applies for the following Friday night, the day after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving extravaganza right here next week. I'm going to bring you up to date on all the action that's been happening in the last several weeks around Southern States Wrestling. Some things may shock you, may surprise you. We're going to see it right here next week. Before we hear from Dr. Tom Prichard and Joe Wheeler, I want to take a look at a man that's been a big part of Southern States Wrestling. He's going to be back for the holiday editions for our big programs coming up. I'm talking about the Iron Cross, a Southern States Wrestling Hall of Famer. He's battling another Southern States Wrestling Hall of Famer in KC Thunder. I want to tell you too, coming up, KC's going to be on a big card. I'm going to be on a big card December the 2nd over there in Asheville area, Fletcher, North Carolina, right across the street from the Asheville Airport at the big Ag Center, Western North Carolina Ag Center, Sunday, 3 o'clock, December 2nd in Asheville. Big time wrestling over there with Southern States Wrestling stars. Hope to see a lot of you over there in the hills of North Carolina also. Let's go to the ring. Then we're going to hear from Joe Wheeler and Dr. Tom Prichard.
Of people that are wanting to come into Southern States Wrestling because they know this is the place to be. And, you know, it takes a special competitor to get the nod from the promoters here that says, hey, we're going to give you an opportunity in front of the live crowd in Mount Carmel or in Morristown or wherever that Southern States Wrestling hangs its banner up. You know, a lot of tapes, a lot of DVDs, footage, promo packages sent in on a weekly basis saying, hey, give us a shot. But like I said, it takes a special grappler to get the nod and get a signed contract from Southern States Wrestling.
Oh, no doubt about that, Mike. A great point, too, is not just the everyday person gets booked here in Southern States Wrestling by any means. It takes a special class and a special caliber of talent in order to be in the Southern States Wrestling ring. Like you see right now, KC Thunder with that boot choking the Iron Cross in the corner. And Cross now coming out, and he's fighting fire with fires. He's throwing those closed fists, which Iron Cross doesn't do very often, but when he's pushed, he certainly will do just that. Blocks that attempted hip toss there, spins him around, got him in position for a backslide. He's got him down. 1, 2. 2 count only on that.
He let go of that arm too quick. I believe he thought he had him right there. We got a clothesline, but a very lackadaisical cover from KC Thunder. I'm going to tell you, Joe, both these guys are spent. They're sucking wind in the ring right now because they've given it their all for the first 10, 12 minutes of this contest. And I'm very anxious to see who's going to come out on top in this. And like I said, you got to believe the person that gets his hand raised in victory tonight is going to be in top contention for the SSW Heavyweight Championship, or maybe for the Tennessee Championship, which we're going to see defended here in just a little while. Both these guys going back and forth. You say we don't ever see the Iron Cross use that closed right hand very often, but hey, he's got to do something. He can't stand there and let KC Thunder just beat his brains out. So he's, like you say, fight fire with fire, and Jake Booth sliding in there, and he's ready to make those counts and those covers when they're appropriate, but he's not able to get a 3 count yet. Irish whip sent him in and caught him with an elbow. Iron Cross kind of telegraphed that one.
He did, and KC caught him there coming across. We got 3 minutes left in the contest at this point as the clock is ticking on this matchup. What a great encounter it's been thus far, back and forth. Both guys have had their advantage on the other at different points in time. Cross right there with a big kick and another hard right hand to the top of the head. And Thunder with the thumb to the eye right there. He's so fast with that thumb to the eye, you almost can't even see it half the time. But the clock is rapidly expiring in this matchup. I think we're down to about 2 minutes or so now, as this could go either way, or we may end up with a draw here, Mike.
Oh, sure, don't say that. I don't want to see a draw between these two guys, but you're right. We're rapidly running out of time here, and a big boot right to the face caught him right on the chin. And he attempted a swinging neck breaker. He didn't get all of it, but I believe he caught enough of it to do some damage. He slides in, and only a 2 count, got the foot on the rope, and that shows a ring veteran right there, Joe. KC Thunder knew exactly where he was at in that ring, and both these guys do it all times. Duck the clothesline, caught him with a Luthez vertical body press, 1, 2, and 3.
There it is. Welcome back, wrestling fans. Joe Wheeler here ringside. Want to bring Dr. Tom Prichard back out. We tried to talk a little bit before, Tom, about Kyle Matthews, Eric Darkstorm. Eric Darkstorm wanted to interrupt us, and I thought it was just really disrespectful because I know you had more to say about the situation, and I just want to get your thoughts on, Eric Darkstorm and Kyle Matthews and this rivalry these guys are developing.
Well, I really do appreciate that, Joe. The fact of the matter is, every time I come back to Southern States Wrestling, I get to see the top in competition, not only in East Tennessee, but everywhere in the country. I think that there's no doubt. I didn't get a chance to finish last time. I don't want to disrespect you. I have all the respect in the world for you. I really do. I think you're a tremendous competitor, but I've got to say, Kyle Matthews pretty much held his own last week against a pretty big man. And I got to say this, while you are a great competitor, you're a great wrestler, you're going to have your hands full when you step in the ring with this young man.
I'm going to have my hands full. Is that right? That's what you think, doctor? Is that your prognosis? Is that the diagnosis for tonight?
All I'm saying is the kid has worked hard. I know Ted Allen for a long time. I've known Ted Allen as long as I've started out, which is over 30 years, and I know that you have a great future ahead of you. You have a great past. I mean, it speaks for itself, Eric, but I mean, I'm starting to see a little attitude coming through here, and if you don't watch yourself, that could be your downfall. I think Kyle Matthews is a tremendous wrestler. I think Eric Darkstorm is a tremendous wrestler.
That's because I am a tremendous wrestler, and I have busted my balls for the last 12 years to get where I'm at. Listen, I don't care you train The Rock. This isn't entertainment to me, okay? So don't come out here and hog the spotlight. And you either, midget, get away from me. Let me talk, all right? This isn't entertainment. This is the real deal. You all are real tough over there. You want to just go, how long's it been since you've been in the ring, Doc? Let's go. What's up, Doc? I got some carrots. You want to get in the ring? Kyle Matthews?
All right, Eric. You've already disrespected the legendary Dr. Tom Prichard once, but your deal is with me. I'm here. Let's do it right now.
You want to do it right now? Are you sure? You want to be his manager? You want to be his manager?
I want you to get in the ring with the kid and put up or shut up. Why don't you go ahead and back it up what you can say? He's in the ring right now. Where are you? You're out here. Yeah.
We're out of time this week, though. There you have the challenge, fans. The only problem is we're out of time for this week on Southern States Wrestling. I think this match is going to happen anyway, but we'll bring you some highlights. We'll bring you some footage. We'll do what we can. But we're out of time for this week. Be sure to join us next week for more Southern States Wrestling next week.